Hello everybody, Aaron here from Firefly Studios, bringing you our next piece of extended gameplay. This one's very exciting for myself especially. Today we're going to be showing off the free build mode. If you don't know what the free build mode is, basically in most strongholds, I'm not sure if every single one, we've had a mode called free build, which basically means you can jump into a big old map and start designing and building a castle at your leisure with no interference from AI or other player lords. It's basically, we give you an open plane and loads of resources, every single building, and you can just go wild in designing and building a castle. You can also, and this will be in the final Warlords game, send invasions to attack that castle at your leisure once you've prepared everything. We're gonna have easy, hard, and medium, I said that in the wrong order, easy, medium, and hard invasions, which you can then send upon your castle. There's going to be gunpowder invasions, animal invasions, troop invasions like you'd expect. And yeah, you can test your resolute defenses, your outer walls, your inner walls, your castle defenses, gunpowder. There's tons of stuff you'll be able to do. So today we've stitched together a particular scenario, a free build scenario. This is very much similar to how free build will play in the final game, but it is not 100%. To explain, basically, there are a few buildings here which are still missing in this build I'm playing right now, like vegetable farms, a few units which are missing, which we haven't revealed yet, which are still getting polish. But you know, most of the stuff's there, and this is just to exhibit, just to showcase that this particular mode is coming back. Again, especially exciting for someone like me, who every time they load up a combat session of Stronghold, for lack of a better term, just gets overwhelmed with anxiety about all the weird decisions you can make and what the other guy's doing, what this guy's doing, like what the AI's doing, and oh my god, I haven't got wood camps yet, that guy's got 7 wood camps. So this mode is my jam. I love it. Also because I just like building massive castles that look very nice. So yeah, today I'm gonna be playing through a specific scenario we've created. So this is gonna be one of our larger maps, not our largest map, but one of the larger ones, because I want to keep this playthrough relatively short compared to some of the free build scenarios I've played in the past in older games. Like I've spent hours on a free build map. So this one I've made sure isn't too big, because otherwise we could just go crazy. So yeah, this is a larger map than we've been showing. I know people have been asking to see the larger maps. This is larger, it's not the largest. There's a map I played yesterday, another free build one called Open Step. Unfortunately, that one wasn't completely finished, so I couldn't use it today. But that one is just a big open plain. So don't worry, we do have larger maps in the game than the ones we've been showing so far. The ones we've been showing so far are basically small combat maps, demos, missions, because, you know, time is of interest. So hopefully you get an indication of some of the larger maps we have today. But yeah, absolutely, this is not the largest map. So I'll stop waffling and we'll start playing. So first of all, we want to have a look around the map, see what's going on, see what resources we've got. I already spotted some caches we've got here. So caches from the previous game. Send a unit over there, pick them up. They give you some bonus and injection of resources. And also we should get a couple of invasions coming. I'm assuming they're going to come from over here and following the road over here. So it looks like, I think Dave, our producer, has made this scenario to have 2 of the main characters from the final game, Thukfan and Qin Shi Huan, from 2 of our campaigns, attack me with their forces. Thukfan's going to be his Vietnamese tribesmen are going to harass my farms, I think. And then Qin Shi Huan's going to send more like siege equipment. So you'll be able to see some action as well. But okay, what I need to do is plan out where I'm going to start building. So my main keep in the middle here. I've got the game paused, by the way. I think. Oh no, I don't. There we go. Let's pause it. That's a good idea. So I'm not wasting any time. I think stockpile probably here. We've got stone and wood right next to us. So that's probably a good shout. And then I'm going to build my economy over here so it's just away from where these sieges are going to be coming from. We also have got some warlords at play here. I'll go through those guys in a second. But yeah, let's unpause and start placing some buildings. So first up, we're going to put our stockpile in.
Cite your granary, Excellency.
That's our scribe right there, new VO for him. And we're going to put our granary over here. So granary is going to collect all your food resources, your rice, your veg, your meat, and your tea. And then your stockpile is going to get all your like building resources, your weaponry resources. So down here, you got wood, stone, iron, saltpeter, gunpowder, silkworm, cocoons, silk threads, and cloves. And I'll be going into detail of all these things later. By the way, as I said before, UI is not final. There are still missing pieces here and there. So rest assured this will be improved upon. And let's just get some basic stuff going before we get down to the Warlord system. So I'm going to put some rice farms down because those are the most important in keeping your castle flowing. Rice, if you run out of rice, you're going to have a peasant's revolt on your hands. Trust me, you don't want to be running out of rice. Down here, you can see the rates of all your foods. Your tea rate, your cloves rate, your housing. Again, I'll explain all of this when we get to building them. Your spirit and the overall mood of your estate. So I'm going to double down here real quick so we don't have to worry about food for the time being. And get some pig farms down and then some tea plantations down. I am one of those players that likes everything to be nice and neat in my castle. I know one of our producers, Paul, likes everything to be a bit more organic. Spreads everything out as if it would be in the real world. But, you know, I'm all about efficiency.
Not enough workers available to run this building.
I'm really not. I don't know why I said that. So, classic Stronghold problem. Not enough workers for all my buildings over here. So we're going to go over to the housing section and build a little hut. Now, I have explained this in previous videos, but here is our new housing system. So you have little hovels up here, down here, sorry, all the way up to superior houses, which are all the way at the other end of the scale. Obviously, as you can see, a lot more expensive in terms of wood. And yeah, they're a much bigger investment, but what they will give you is better comfort for your citizenship. So if you build lovely little pads for all your peasants to do their business in. Come on, Aaron. Yeah, I'm going for it. Do their business in. You fill in the blanks with that one. I've lost my train of thought now. Basically, the more expensive the housing you build, the better it will do at accommodating your peasantry, the higher their comfort level is going to be, and the higher quality your housing. To put a TLDR on that, better housing equals more popularity, and then you can tax your peasants more, like we're going to do here. Yep, here's your tax rate. So just like in old Stronghold games, the more happiness you have from a range of things, like as you can see here, meat, vegetables, tea, etc. You can then tax your peasants more and get more cash into your castle. Cool. So now we've got food going, we need to get industry going, and we only have enough for one wood camp. Let's get a market down. So just like in classic Stronghold games, markets are back to buy and sell resources and weapons and food, etc., etc. So I've actually been given quite a lot of starting gold here, so I'm gonna hold down shift so I can buy more wood. And we're going to make sure... Oh, that's the wrong one. We're going to make sure we've got plenty of wood camps operating near the trees, placed strategically between my stockpile and my trees, so that, you know, my woodsmen don't have long to travel between their assigned tasks, shall we say. Cool, so we've got wood going, food's going, popularity is good, we're getting some money from the peasantry. All good. We're looking pretty hot right now. Over here we had stone, so I'm going to start putting down some quarries.
Not enough workers available to run this building.
Still
a water buffalo tether is required to bring stone to the stockpile, Your
there,
Highness.
And then one each. Beautiful. So we need a bit more housing. So I'm going to, now that we've got a little more wood from the market, I'm going to invest in a superior house. So as you can see here, just aesthetically, you can tell the difference between this little... Oh, is she having a bath? Oh, and yeah, we got some new status indicators for your peasantry. So Chen is relaxing at home. Got her feet in a bath. Lou is walking home even though she's there. Sweeping, Lee. And then little Kong is he's walking home as well. He is now home. Cool. I'm also going to get my lord off this keep here so we can show it in its full glory. Here are my quarry workers heading to their 9 to 5. They'll soon start operating these quarries, and which the buffalo tethers, just like ox tethers in the past, will then take that stone, deliver it to my stockpile so I can go over here and start building walls. Speaking of which, I feel a bit vulnerable at the moment, so I'm going to start building a small inner castle wall. I'm a big fan of the close-knit castles with lots of defenses, so you can get a little more range if a siege force is coming close, and then building most of my economy outside of the castle walls. But that's just how I play, you know. On the 29th of September 2020, when the game is due to come out, you can pick it up yourself and show me how my castle designs are terrible, which I'm sure most of you are already thinking right now. So I'm eager to finish off this castle wall so I don't have to worry about defense so much. So I'm going to go back to my market, go into my resources, and bye. There we go, that should be enough. And then we're going to finish off this wall here. And then, oh, that's not quite even. My OCD is triggered. We're going to build a gatehouse so my peasants can come in and out, and then a staircase to finish it off for now so that when I finally get archers going, they can ascend the staircase onto the wall and start defending my castle. Awesome. Okay. So let's focus on the Warlord system. It's only in the name, Aaron. Right, so let's go through the Warlord system. So in this particular scenario, we really have already... So in this particular scenario, we've already got all the Warlords under our control for this particular free build scenario. In campaign missions and skirmishes and stuff, these won't be under your control, and you'll have to capture them either through diplomacy or through military means. But just for this scenario, we've already had them captured for you. So we've got the crane over here, the ox, and the pig. Each warlord will give you different possibilities of shipments and bonuses, etc., etc. So the crane over here is going to boost your diplomacy because obviously cranes have lots to do with diplomacy. We're going to go over to the ox, and just like in the callback to the ox tethers of old, the ox warlord is going to give you resources. And then over here, the pig, one of the bastions of the farmyard, he's going to give you shipments of different types of food. So because I've only built rice and pig farms, giving me rice and meat, I'm going to ask him for vegetables so that I can, touch all the bases and give me bigger popularity bonus because I'm getting more types of food for my peasants to eat. The ox warlord, I'm going to ask him for stone because I want to build some towers. And then the crane, I'm going to just ask him to boost my diplomacy so that I can continue asking for shipments. Although there are other means of which we can boost our diplomacy. So down here we have the Controverts and Embassies. These buildings will basically boost your diplomacy points per minute. So if you click in here, points per minute, they'll give me 24. Embassies will give you more, but they will cost more. At the moment, we allow you to build 2 of each because we don't want people abusing it, although this is liable to change through testing. So yes, now we got food coming in. We've got wood and stone coming in. We've got diplomacy points coming in. We now need to focus on a little bit of military so that all these assets get protected. So I'm going to build an armory and a barracks, just like in classic Stronghold. Barracks are going to allow you to train troops. Armory is going to collect weaponry for you. But it looks like we need more housing so that we have more peasants to recruit. So let's go over to our housing, and we have loads of wood, so we're going to invest a bit more in higher quality housing and building a superior house, and I'm going to build a fine house as well. Let's see if that stone's come in yet. Yep, we got a bunch of stones, so I'm going to build a tower over here. Let's build a tower over here, a tower over here. Oh, we got loads. We can build one in each. And there we go. Beautiful. And that's nice and even. That's nice. Oh, this one's a bit far out. So I'm going to go to our delete tool here. Delete that. And have another crack at that. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. So now we'll go into our barracks. And because we've already got some bows in our armory, we are now able to recruit archers. So 1, 2, let's do 2 of each. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1, 2, get you guys over there, over there. So now we have all corners of our castle with some protection. Wait, did I send, was that the last one I didn't send to? No, my memory game is weak. Are they going up there? Yeah, no, they aren't. Okay, there we go. So now we've got archers in all these towers. I think we've already explained this, but we have changed it up. So archers will now take up physical space on these towers. And in the rest of the game, we've got new troop placement options or systems going around. So in previous Stronghold games, you could just like spam loads of archers on top of walls and it was kind of cheesy. So we've now made them occupy physical space so that these will have a set limit of archers you can actually place on the wall. And it won't look really weird. So now we've got some archers going. I also want some foot troops. So we're going to go from some auxiliary axemen. And we're going to get these guys out here to protect our farms. And just quickly to run you through these different types of troops here. We've got Tribesman, auxiliary, and Imperial. And we also have elites, but we'll get to those guys later. So Tribesmen don't require any weaponry, just a little bit of gold, but they are super weak. And super low armor, but they do move fast. So they're basically your early game harass troops. Moving on to the auxiliaries, a bit more armor, a bit more attack, a bit slower though. But those will be your basic foot troops. And then your Imperial troops, one sec, just let me get this first cache over here. Your Imperial troops down here will have, some of them will have certain buffs and individual attacks, or special attacks, should I say. More armor, more attack, but again, slower. So the more armor they've got, naturally, the slower they are, but the more attack damage they can put out. So I'm going to send these tribesmen as low cost, low risk, fast pace units to go and get these caches all dotted around the map so we can start getting some injections in terms of resources, in terms of cash into our economy. So those should start giving us bonuses soon. And what else can we do here? So let's move on. I am wary. I'm not sure when the first siege comes, but I'm pretty sure it's soon. So I'm going to start building some castle defenses in this panel. So over here, we've got a bunch of new castle defenses. And I'm going to start off with something real cool, the fire arrow turret. So I'm going to build this over here. We can actually build two, so I'm going to build another one over here. So this is your rocket tower or fire arrow platform. I don't think we haven't finalized the name yet. And this is basically going to fire a multitude of flaming ballistas at the enemy. It looks really cool. It's super satisfying when you land them on a bunch of troops and they just get decimated. So yeah, hopefully we can show those off. Let's also build a couple of turrets. So let's build a couple of these. So these are just full of archers who will fire normal arrows at your besiegers. They are a lot lower cost, 200 less, and basically a way of shortcutting to some ranged defenses on your walls if you don't have the peasantry for archers. Cool. And we'll build one gunpowder stash because we've got some to start off, and we'll build that. We'll build that on the road, near the road over here, because I'm pretty sure the siege force is going to come down this road here and try and get to my gatehouse. Okay. All good. So we're going to continue on, and we're going to start making sure we are getting every resource available on this map. So we're going to build some iron mines, which will start obviously getting iron into our stockpile. So then when it comes to it, we can... armor workshops and our sword workshops can use that iron to make armor and swords. And we're also going to build some saltpeter mines. Saltpeter was... where were you, saltpeter? Over here. I'm going to build a few of these bad boys. And the saltpeter will be the resource which is made into gunpowder. And just so we don't forget, let's get some gunpowder workshops near the stockpile. Beautiful. Look at those bad boys. Cool. So that's nearly everything. And while we're in industry, let's just get everything out of the way, shall we? Let's build some... Do the clothes. I've got so much wood. I think it's because of all those caches I got. Clothes workshop.
Not
clothes
enough
workshop.
workers
Clothes
available
workshop.
to run this building.
So this is another brand new resource chain. Clothes and silk. One sec. I'm just going to build another superior house. So we've got silkworm farms, silk workshops, and clothes workshops. And this production chain is basically going to inject a bunch of clothing into your economy. So your citizens can walk around with the finest garments in all of East Asia, which is basically going to improve your popularity once again and allow you to bump up that tax rate, baby. More and more gold so we can buy more and more military to protect all our workers over here. So, you know, it's for the people. Right, so I want to now get a military going. So let's go over here and let's invest in some crossbowmen. So these are basically souped up versions of archers who are going to be a lot better against armored units. So archers are great against other auxiliary troops and, oh, my popularity. Archers are good against other auxiliary troops, unarmored units basically. But crossbowmen you're going to need if you have any chance of taking out Imperial troops, samurai, generals, and other lords, because they're going to have the bolts to actually pierce the armor. So I'm pretty well rounded on this side. Yeah, we're all good on that side. Let's go for the military academy. So military academy. If you've watched previous videos, you know what's going on here. This is going to be your access point to elite troops. So as you can see here, horse archers, or I prefer to call them Mongolian raiders. Hopefully we can change that name. Samurai and generals. We've got a couple more elite units coming down the line, and we're going to show them off in videos. So yeah, we've got a couple more cool assets to come here. 1 second, just caffeinating up. Ah, delicious. So we're going to get some horse archers.
Where do we ride?
Here they are. I will say, if you haven't noticed, you probably now have, red outlines will go around your units and siege equipment if they are being obstructed, visibly obstructed, or occluded, maybe, is that the word? By, say, a castle wall. So as you can see here, our lord right here has got a little red outline. Basically, in past Stronghold games, we had it where people were just losing troops. People would just invest heavily in swordsmen and lose them because they were hidden in like a little crevice in your castle. So we've put this little red outline around your units if they are hidden behind something, so that you don't miss out on using all of your military.
We never rest.
Cool, so we're going to have these guys, we're going to put them on a patrol function. On this side of the castle. So they're now just going to patrol between these 2 points. So protect this side, have a little harassment in case we get a siege force coming this way. What do we go on to next? We need to get some workshops going because we haven't actually got that many. Look at this weaponry. This is poor. Look at this. We've got no, absolutely no. We've got an invasion.
Death to the oppressors!
So that is Thukfan, one of our main protagonists for one of our main campaigns, historical campaigns. You're going to be helping out in the final game. Here we go. Fire arrow tower going off. Oh, the gunpowder stash went off. Oh, I think his troops got absolutely annihilated there.
A message from Thukfan.
Failure. We must redouble our efforts, my warriors.
They got absolutely... I didn't even see them. They got absolutely just destroyed in these trees over here. As you saw there, the fire arrow turret, or the rocket tower, or whatever we're calling that, still has to be finalized. Going to work. If that lands on tribesmen who are completely unarmored, they just get decimated. But we'll see a bit more of that, in action. And also, yep, you saw the gunpowder stash go off there. If you aren't paying attention, and enemy troops do go over your gunpowder stashes, your archers will automatically set them off. Just a quality of life thing, so that you're not wasting loads of gunpowder stashes and forgetting about them. Cool. Let's now focus on getting some weaponry. We're also going to go back into our Warlord screen because we've got a bunch of diplomacy points. Boost our diplomacy, upgrade him. Ask for iron because we want to focus on weaponry. Upgrade the pig and ask him for vegetables because we still haven't got any vegetable farms because those are being optimized right now and aren't in this build. Cool. So we're going to go to, we're going to remove this actually. We're going to build our armory near our stockpile because that is where it's going to increase our production workflow. And we're going to get one of each. I'm a guy who likes to cover all his bases. Get 1, 2. So this is basically allowing us to build or forge every kind of, what do we need here? Gold. Let's go to our market and sell some stuff. Gonna allow us to cover all the bases and build every kind of weapon. So as you can see here, armorers, workshop fletchers, artilleter. I don't know whether it's my lisp, my small mouth, a combination of both, but artillators. It never feels like that's how I should be saying it, but it always is. So I always have to stop and look at it for like 5 seconds and do the mental gymnastics to say that. Maybe I'm just dumb. That's probably it. And we're going to build one of each. So axes, lances.
Not enough workers available to run this building.
And forges. And we're going to build this guy around here. Look at this. A little workshop street. I love it. And cool. And we need more housing because we haven't got enough. We're going to build 2 houses here. So now we need a big influx of peasants to occupy these workshops, but we also need a big influx of peasants to be on reserve so that we can recruit them. And we got a bunch of popularity coming in. As you can see, we've got cloves going on, we've got tea, we've got meat. Oh, my peasants are loving it. But we can improve upon the popularity. So let's go over to our temples. So for all you classic Stronghold players, you'll know what's going on here. Just like in Crusader, where we have mosques and churches, here you're going to have temples, which will give you spirit. And spirit is going to allow your citizens that spiritual access point to the high heavens to inspire them in their day-to-day.
To transport your iron to the stockpile.
So how this works, I'll showcase it here, is the more workshops, farms, and houses you've got around that temple, covering in that little radar, the more spirit bonus you're going to get. So as you see, if I move it closer to the workshops, the spirit for that particular temple goes higher. If I move it away, all the way to 0. So again, you're going to have to really think about how you're going to design all of your different workshops, etc. into your final castle. So down here we're getting 12, but it looks kind of funky next to the armorer. So I'm going to put it over here where we're getting 9 there. We are getting 13. Boom. 13 spirit. That's efficiency right there. And now you can see spirit points 13, increasing the popularity up there. Very good. Let's open this back up.
More invasions are approaching, my lord.
Let's keep asking for iron and vegetables.
A message from Jin Shi Huang.
Here we go.
War is death's feast. He will dine well.
So we've got some auxiliary troops coming in.
As you will it.
So what we're going to do here is... Am I going to be fast enough?
Not enough goods.
And that's... then I've got to walk over it, are they? There we go. If you fire at the Gunpowder Stash, it blows.
Yes.
We also have to do the sounds for that.
Right.
So there are some sounds which aren't final in the game yet, also. Oh, keep these guys away, harass them. Absolute cheese tactics going on right now.
A message from Jin Shi Huang.
If it takes 1,000 years, I will be revenged.
Okay, so far the sieges haven't been that impressive, I've got to say. Been pretty weak, but don't worry.
Ready to ride.
Those are going to increase in intensity later down the line. So for which, we're going to start increasing our tax rate and really focusing on this economy. Or this military, sorry. So we are going to... We're going to build another consulate first so we get even more diplomacy points. Look at this little row here. Look at this industry right here. I want to get a siege camp going as well. We're going to build that over here. So now we can start building siege equipment because the best form of defense is attack. And I'm going to build my own siege equipment and send it at their sieges. So that should be fun. We also want to get some samurai going. We also want to get some generals going. I'm not sure why I don't have more cash. Let's go over to the market. And, oh, this is... Let's cash in on this. Come on. There we go. And we're going to upgrade him again. We're going to ask him for gold. And we're going to ask the palace embassy. So now our diplomacy points are going to start piling in. We're going to get 2 of them actually. We're going to double down, double dip. We're also going to get another temple, so our spirit is just absolutely going ham. Where can we put this guy? Oh, I really want to put it here. That's annoying. 13, 10, 11. What about up here? 12. Okay, we've got 12. Can we get higher than a 12? We got a 13.
Can't place that there, Highness.
13, 12, 13. There we go. Beautiful. So now all our workers are getting that spiritual access. And that's all you need to convince them to toil away for you. Okay, so let's start getting some more castle defenses down. So I'm going to start building some barricades. So, fun little thing you can do now is, let's go buy some gunpowder.
Not enough gold.
Fun little thing you can do now is build some barricades as sort of a funneling point. So instead of having all this open land here where the siege force can go like down here or over here or whatever, you wanna start putting barricades to force them to go, or let's not say force, let's say manipulate them into going into certain areas where then you can place down all kinds of nasty surprises. So for example, we're going to put 3 barricades down here, go over to our gunpowder stashes, and put our gunpowder stashes just behind them here. And we need a bit more just for that. And there we go. Just in between these points. So the plan is, when Thukfan sends his next siege force, they come down here and boom, into these funneling
You
points.
need a water buffalo tether to transport your iron to the stockpile.
I already have, haven't I? Yeah, I have. Ah, must be a bug. Cool. So we're going to build a couple more towers over here. Really start bolstering this castle. Get some guys up there. Get some guys up here. And then we're going to get some Imperial Warriors to protect our Lord. So these guys are going to be...
More invasions are approaching, my lord.
Not as tough
We are under attack.
as the
A message
samurai,
from
but
Thukfan.
pretty powerful.
Warriors! Together we are the hammer, and we will crush our enemy.
Really, dude. Going for my economy. That's cheap. Okay, but now let's see if this little plan works here. I'm just going to turn these off. I'm going to turn production on
Work
these.
halted, your highness. Need 2 more people.
I'm going to totally forget to turn these back on. See, we can turn these off so that peasants stop going out to them. We're going to need our own
Yours to come out.
horsemen to take out these guys over here.
Pick them off.
Thukfan being cheap. If you're sending horse archers after me,
It is
my
good
opinion
to
of you
ride.
is going down.
Yeah!
Here we go. Fire arrow turret firing into the woods. And here we go. I think the plan's going to work, everybody. So let's get our archer ready. Ready to activate this little gunpowder stash here. It should fire them off automatically, but here we go. Through. There we go. And fire off. There we go. Beautiful. A master strategist at work. And finish him off there. Just one final troop. Oh no, that's my saltpeter miner. How the,
A message from Thuk Fan.
That's what you get, bro.
Our struggle will continue.
It certainly will. Cool. So now we're going to, let's go to our military academy. So now we can recruit a samurai. Lots of gold required for these guys. But luckily,
Your command.
high attack, high armor.
Oh,
And if you've watched our recent video on the samurai and a couple of other units, the other
how you
two
wish.
units escape me now. But you'll be able to see his special attack, which will basically run into an enemy, katana held high, and it's pretty dope. But hopefully we can show that off
You will
soon.
need a water buffalo tether to transport your iron to the stockpile.
I'll put
Yes, sir.
all this. I'll put him outside the castle, and we can use him when we see fit. Okay, so we're looking good. Industry is rolling. We'll need to turn these
Needs
guys back
2 more
on.
people.
Cool. So now we're going to focus on gunpowder. Over here, how much gold we got going on? Not much, actually. Let's sell this, sell a little bit of that, sell a bit of that,
Not enough goods.
and buy a whole bunch. There we go. And now we're going to put some gunpowder traps around our castle. Let's put some there. Again, let's fill these guys up. Oh, we need more. And then you can also get gunpowder trails. So we're going to have a video that go through all of the gunpowder traps and trails and stuff like that. But basically this allows you to create a line which you can then ignite. I'm sure you can probably figure out how a gunpowder trail is going to work. Yeah, you just shoot the end of the trail, it ignites, goes down the trail, and blows up all kinds of gunpowder buildings and siege equipment and stashes along the way. So you could put like a fire oxen here, light the gunpowder trail, and it would blow up the fire oxen if it went down it. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what players do with that. But yeah, speaking of fire oxen, man, if for the fire oxen alone, thank God Warlords is a thing. Because these things are just, these Bessies are, basically if you came to me and gave me a fire oxen in real life, strapped with gunpowder, everything, you'd be my best friend. You'd be my friend for life. I love these things, and we're going to see them in action soon. Speaking of, I think if we upgrade the Ox, yeah, can't skip out on the Ox not giving you fire oxen. So some warlords will be able to give you release forces in
Another
the
invasion is
form
here, Your
of
Highness.
fire oxen, or you know, as you can see here, fire oxen now traveling from the
A
Ox's castle
message from
to
Jin
ours.
Shi Huang. We are
You were born soft and weak. You will die hard and stiff.
And yes, as you can see, the fire oxen has sent 3 fire oxen to my castle. Once they're inside my estate, I can then control them, do what I please with them. But for now,
Oh, move.
we are gonna let them chill out in there because we've already got 2 ready to deploy over here.
Oh, understood.
Gonna put these guys on aggressive, put them on a line formation.
Enemy, into.
And once we ignite our gunpowder stashes and trails, we can then send in the support forces. Okay.
Oh,
We'll make sure they're not in range. Get this guy ready. Ah, they're not going to go through this one. So there is a little bit of guesswork you have to do with the gunpowder. Okay, are we ready? And let's try to take out these mantlets, shall we? And we're going to ignite the trail. And along it goes, and boom. Beautiful. Okay, now let's get these fire oxen ready. We're going to take out this swatcher at the back. Okay, we're going to get them ready. And here we go. Oh, gonna try to take him out. Oh, he just got through. And we've got some catapults attacking, so we're gonna skirt around the fire, and from the back. Beautiful. Okay. We've got some troublesome Imperial Warriors coming in. They're ascending. Out the gate! The fire oxen goes. This is probably a bad idea. There we go. They can now fight in the flames. Don't escape. And with the samurai all bit.
As you wish.
A message from Jin Che Huang.
Move. Who can rid me of this poisonous dragon? Your command.
So as you saw there, the samurai, one step above the Imperial troops, just showing them who's boss. Destroy these ladders real quick. And yeah, so the higher cost troop you buy, the better they're going to perform in battle. Pretty straightforward thinking. And once these ladders are destroyed, we're going to go
You will
over
need a water buffalo tether to transport your iron to the stockpile.
and repair our wall over here. So I've done a bit of a hatchet job right there. There we go. Okay, so let's get a few more castle defenses going. I want a couple more fire arrow platforms going. So then we can just rain down fire ballistas. Okay, let's get a rocket launcher going.
Rocket launcher, ready
So
for
for those of you
firing.
who've seen the PAX demo, you'll know all about the rocket launchers.
Rocket launcher on the way.
For those of you who haven't, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to show you. Like a good script, show, don't tell. Right, been a while since we've hit up our Warlords, so let's see what they've got going on. We're going to ask for more fire oxen, we're going to ask for more vegetables, and we're going to ask for more gold. So then we can really start getting our economy going. Who are we kidding? It's already going. Let's get hoarding down. This will protect archers and troops on the walls, just like in classic strongholds. And let's get a few more archers, put them over here. A few more, put them over here. Okay, what else can we do? Let's get a few guardsmen. Put them up. Cool, so these little guardsmen over here, they have a special attack. Those are the other troops. In the samurai video, you also see the guardsmen and how they have this massive like sweep ability and can take out a bunch of like low armor troops at once. So a few of the troops you'll find out do have special abilities, etc., etc. I am going to get these fire oxen the hell out of my inner castle because that is just asking for a bunch of trouble.
We are almost out of rice, Highness.
We're going to get these guys
invasions
over
are
here.
approaching, my lord.
Rocket launcher
Get
at
our
your
rocket
command.
launcher going.
A message from Thuk Fan.
Let our
There we
decadent
go.
masters
Let's turn
tremble.
these off.
Warriors, we have nothing to lose.
We've got ladders, we've got tribesmen, he's got catapults coming actually. Okay, let's get another stash down here. And I'll tell you what, let's get our guardsmen out there so you can see them in action. We've got a rocket launcher coming around,
ready
we can
for
deploy
firing.
that.
Bringing the gunpowder.
Okay, we've got another samurai out here. I want to get a general as well. He's going to provide us a big armor buff. Cool. Got loads of crossbows actually. Let's sell some of those. Oh, my bloody... Didn't realize my economy was so bad. Send me rice, please. Oh, I haven't been keeping up with my rice farms. That's why. I built loads of houses, but I haven't built any more economy. There we go. Okay,
Rockets
and let's
loaded.
get this
And
rocket
go
launcher going.
fast.
These could be a bit random. Oh, beautiful. Look at them go. They ain't getting anywhere close. Okay, let's get the guardsmen over here.
Buildings are aflame, Highness.
Ah, that's the barricades talking, I think. Oh, they're not even going to make it to my guardsmen, I don't think. He ran straight over my stash. Ah, here we go. Let's try and get them against these archers over here. Got some late comers to the party. Okay, let's increase our taxes again. Looks like that's dealt with. I don't know if we're going to make it. See, as you can see, Imperial troops are just too slow sometimes.
A message from Thukfan.
Defeat.
What's this
Many
saltpeter
brave
miner
men
doing?
died today.
Just walking through the fire.
Let it not be in vain.
Now that's called dedication to your job. I love it. No way my castle economy fails with those guys around. Okay. Let's build. Let's just totally. Let's just get loads of them going. We do allow a max amount of tower defenses you can have, so you can't just like line up your entire castle wall with them. Okay. Is there anything I haven't shown? Oh my goodness. There we go. Anything I haven't shown? Let's get. Oh yeah, you can also upgrade the castles of your warlords. So basically, maybe not in this scenario specifically, but in the final game in skirmish battles and campaign maps, etc. Obviously, the AI or other players are going to be gunning for your warlords to take them over. So what you can do is, while they're under your control, you can then ask them to upgrade their castles.
You will need a water buffalo tether to transport your iron to the stockpile.
And then they will start building some defenses for themselves, just so you have a little more time in case they get attacked. And also, if you do want to speed up the process of, a warlord building a castle or getting more wood or whatever, we do have the game speed variations back again. So we can go up to very, very fast. So as you can see, it's speeding up. It looks a bit like a colony of ants if you go to your... I love it. I like it a lot. And then you can slow it down to, like, I think it's glacial. Yeah, glacial. So as you can see, just compile. Yeah. It does allow you to get some cool slow-mo shots, I must say. Like, when you get into the siege, you can just see like catapults fire in slow motion and rocket towers fire in slow motion and people blowing up slow mo. Oh, it's cool. It's great. Okay. And also you can press C to get rid of the UI just while we're on the topic of video, cool video stuff you can do. Right. So I'm going to also build some roads here between my diplomacy buildings, because at the moment we still need to finalize the design of this. At the moment, if you have roads around
Look to the defenses, Excellency.
diplomacy buildings,
Another attack is incoming.
it's going to boost the amount of diplomacy you get from them.
A message from Qin Shi Huang.
Where is this guy?
Pathetic dog. Cowering before the Imperial army.
Okay, let's get some Hwatches going. Okay. Oh, this is I think this is the final siege, day 45. Yeah, this is the final siege here. Okay.
Fire arrows loaded.
Is it big? It's got rocket launchers. That's not good. Yes, Dave told me that
Yes, sir, order. Your command.
the final siege was day 45. So after the siege, I'm going to go through the stuff we haven't shown today, like the Fear Factor panel over here. But for now, there's not enough gunpowder on this map. Not enough. I'm only allowed 2 stashes. Okay, let's get you guys in position. Okay.
As you wish. So,
Let's get our elites out there. Lord, you go up in the castle. Blow that man up, please. There we go.
yes, sir.
Put these guys on aggressive. Get the siege going.
Enemy.
Oh, they just took out all my archers. That's not good. Let's get these.
Pato.
And there go my samurai. Heading in. Beautiful. Okay. The fire oxen are up. They're flying at me.
The enemy has broken through our castle walls.
Oh my god.
Our arrows
Hwatches.
are sharp.
Not enough gold to train this unit.
Where do you need us?
Okay, we've got Hwatches firing on these guys. Catapults are firing back. Imperial troops are having a little skirmish over here. Boom. Got some intense action. That's a lot of Imperial troops. I'm getting worried. Armorer.
Not enough gold.
Sell.
Not enough goods.
Sell. Get to the barracks. Bye. Get out there, men. Protect the Lord. Ah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We've got a samurai going down here.
Honorable fight. Understood.
Beautiful.
A message from Jin Shi Huang.
History will remember me. I have decreed it.
Okay, and that was the final siege. So I think we actually got to everything. I think we actually got to pretty much every building at the moment in this build. There are still more to come. But what we're going to do now is go to the final panel over here, which I haven't been able to investigate. I think I've done everything else. There's also a grand temple here we can get. Boom. Bigger radar. Allows for more coverage. I put it in a really stupid place there. That's only free. Not the best exhibition of that. But yes, over here we have Fear Factor coming back. So quickly to wrap up, if you did play previous Stronghold games, you'll remember Fear Factor. So basically this allows you to build castle attractions or castle torture devices, I guess. So castle attractions like so. At the moment, these are a couple we've got in the game.
You will need a water buffalo tether to transport your iron to the stockpile.
Oh, Kung Fu Plaza as well. And then torture devices. Oh, that's not the best angle for him. Let's rebuild him. There we go. And so over here we have taiko drums, opera houses, manzai theaters, and Kung Fu plazas. Torture chairs, iron maidens, and torture cages. Basically, with the little statistics you can tell from down here, these are going to either popularize your rule or they're going to demonize your rule. Basically, if you're a popular lord, your army's going to fight more valiantly for you because obviously they want to fight for a lord who's giving them lovely castle attractions to go and see on the weekends. But if you are putting loads of bad lord buildings down and you're torturing your peasants, then they're not going to be so hot on fighting for a lord who's torturing their friends. But on the flip side, if you do have good lord buildings, people are going to spend more time looking at the operas and the big and the manzai theaters and studying kung fu. So they're not going to be working as hard. But if you've got a bunch of torture devices down and you see good old Kenny like getting put in the Iron Maiden, you're going to be like, oh shit, I need to buckle down. So yeah. Those will be returning. We do have a few more good or bad lord buildings coming, as you can see from the gaps in UI. And some of them, as you can see, do need to be animated. We've got the opera house going and the taiko drums going. But yeah, a few more need to be polished off. But yes, that is pretty much everything. I very much hope you enjoyed the gameplay. We will have more and more gameplay videos, especially extended ones coming because the game is now finishing up. We are now in the final processes of production. We are now testing and balancing, etc., etc. And basically more and more of the maps are becoming finally playable. So yeah, super exciting, and I can't wait to show you guys more. If you do want to see those videos, those extended gameplay looks, we're going to be uploading them here on YouTube. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, Instagram as well, we'll be posting stuff on those pages about Warlords. And of course, if you want to join the Discord, where we have a really cool metagame going on to do with the game, which will lead up to release. And also, there's a bunch of cool people chatting about Stronghold, including all the developers, or most of the developers. So it's a really cool place to go and hang out if you are a Stronghold fan. This has been Aaron signing off. I've never signed off like this before. If you did enjoy the video, do like, subscribe, etc., etc. And we'll see you next time for a Firefly Studios video.